Even after 400 episodes, Peppa Pig still has several questions that remain unanswered. Are you ready to discover the biggest mysteries fans still have about Peppa's universe?
I'm Peppa Pig.
The narrator. Do you know who the narrator of the series is? Exactly! Nobody has the slightest idea who is watching the main characters of the show. But there are some theories that are interesting and even a little scary. Whenever an episode begins, a camera moves closer to the characters, and we know it's a camera because at several moments the lens gets dirty. One example is the episode George's New Clothes, where the pig family falls into the mud and the dirt stains the screen. That means someone is always filming the main characters. The narrator is someone who is constantly watching everything that happens in the town. And who would be better for that job than Miss Rabbit, since she is a TV director? We learned that in the episode TV Land, but there's also a possibility that the narrator might be Mr. Labrador. He appears several times near the pig family holding a camera, and there are moments when he is in disguise, like when he pretends to be one of the Queen's palace guards. The narrator is definitely someone who watches everything in secret, but are we talking about someone good or someone who wants to harm Peppa? Let's find that out right now. Stay tuned because another awesome Cinewave is already on. Aunt Dottie. One question that has never been answered is about Aunt Dottie and why she lives so far away from the family. Besides that, it's a huge mystery where this character actually lives nowadays. Let's remember that Aunt Dottie was mentioned in the episode Shiny Roddy Horse in Season 4, but she only appeared in the Thanksgiving story during Season 8. That already proves that in reality, Aunt Dottie lives in the United States, since Thanksgiving is a holiday from that country. But when she appears, we discover that Dottie is Mommy Pig's sister. And this is exactly where the mystery begins. Before Season 8, it was never said that Mommy Pig had a sister. In the house where she grew up, there isn't a single picture of Aunt Dottie, and Peppa's maternal grandparents never said they had 2 daughters. Besides that, the pig family has already visited the United States, and even being in the same country where Aunt Dottie lives, they didn't visit her. That is super strange. Does it make any sense for someone to travel to the country their sister lives in and not visit her even once? Speaking of that, Aunt Dottie shows up unexpectedly in the Thanksgiving episode without telling her sister or even her parents. Wow, what a mystery! It almost seems like the family isn't close at all.
Dottie! Oh.
Names. Do you know what Peppa's parents' real names are? They are definitely not named Daddy and Mommy, but even so, everyone calls them that. It's strange to think that almost all adults in Peppa's universe hide their real names. We say almost because there are some exceptions. Mommy Pig's sister is named Dottie, and we also know the Queen's name is Elizabeth because she references the real Queen of England. We also know that Grandpa Rabbit's real name is Reggie because of the episode The Sea Treasure, where George finds a bottle with a letter written by Grandpa Rabbit when he was a kid. And that detail is very interesting because in Peppa's world, characters seem to hide their names once they grow up. But we do have some clues about what Mommy Pig's real name might be. If you pay close attention to Aunt Dottie, you'll notice that her dress has little dots. Her name references the pattern on her clothing. Following that logic, we have an image of Mommy Pig in the episode Time Capsule. When she was a child, Peppa's mom wore a dress with a flower pattern, which means Mommy Pig probably has a name connected to flowers. And even though the series has never revealed the truth behind this mystery, it's fun to notice the clues that appear in the show. Heart. A recent question in the series is about the heart-shaped mark on Evie's face. You definitely notice that Peppa's new baby sister has a different mark on her cheek. And as cute as that mark might be, there is a serious question about it. Why did the animators choose to give her something like that? As far as we know, Evie is the only character with this kind of feature, almost as if she were more special than the other characters. And besides that, is there a darker reason behind the mark? There are theories saying Evie might have a heart condition, but there's not much evidence and it seems more like something fans invented. But maybe there is a more realistic reason to think about that mark. It's very possible that Evie has a different mark because the creators wanted to visually distinguish the new piglet from Peppa. Evie will grow up and become a big pig very soon. That's true because her character exists mainly to bring something new to the series, and as a baby, Evie can't really play with her siblings. So when Evie grows up, she will probably look a lot like Peppa, which means the only way to tell them apart is by the heart-shaped mark. Do you prefer Evie or Peppa? Comment number pig so we can get to know you. Pigs. Still talking about pigs, do you know any other character of this species who isn't related to Peppa? The truth is that the main character of the series has already traveled to many parts of the world, like New York, Texas, Italy, France, and even Australia. But not a single pig has ever appeared that wasn't related to her. This rule doesn't work the same way for the other species. It's almost like the only piglets in the show are Peppa's family, and in this case, we're talking about George and Evie, her parents and grandparents, her uncles and aunts, and of course her cousins Chloe and Alexander. Nowhere in the world do we see other pigs, and that's why many fans believe pigs might be endangered due to some kind of disease. Is that why someone is always watching Peppa? Maybe they are trying to prevent the pigs from disappearing. It actually makes sense, don't you think? Speaking of disappearing, have you ever wondered why the Statue of Liberty is represented as a human in Peppa's universe? We know that in our world the statue is a woman, but in Peppa's universe, that doesn't make sense. This detail has created many theories, including the idea that humans went extinct, meaning that in the past, the world was ruled by humans. But after some kind of tragedy, humans disappeared and animals evolved, which is why the Statue of Liberty is a human figure, because it was made years before the animals took over. Could that be true? If so, Peppa Pig would be a show that takes place in the future. And that's pretty creepy, isn't it? In Peppa's world, there is a queen who lives alone in a palace, and this character is very close friends with Miss Rabbit. It makes sense to have a queen because the show takes place in England. The character has already appeared several times, and we know she is a tribute to Queen Elizabeth II of England. But there is still one question the series hasn't answered. The real-life Queen Elizabeth sadly passed away, and maybe that could affect Peppa Pig's storyline. Is the queen in Peppa's world still alive and going to keep appearing? Or will another character take the throne? The show still hasn't revealed whether they will keep the queen as a tribute, but maybe we'll find out when the next season begins. What do you think about that? In Peppa's world, we have several Christmas episodes, at least 6 stories about that time of year. But there is only one episode about Peppa's birthday. Everybody knows Peppa's timeline is different from the real world, but based on what the series shows, at least 6 years should have passed since season 1. On what the series shows, at least 6 years should have passed since season 1. But so far, our little piggy is still no older than 4 years old. And that makes absolutely no sense. It's almost as if time is frozen and the characters are stuck. Either way, maybe time started moving again after Evie was born. And we know that because there are multiple episodes showing Mommy Pig's pregnancy stages. 9 months passed between the announcement she made on TV and the day Evie was born, meaning that now, time is actually moving forward in Peppa's universe. So will we finally see Peppa growing up? Probably yes. The subscribe button is flashing just for you. Click it and hit the bell right now. School. The next question is something Peppa Pig fans have wondered since season 1. Why do younger students like George, Richard, and Edmund study in the exact same class as their older sisters? That makes no sense at all because children of different ages should be learning different things. Just like in Bluey, where the main character studies in one class and her younger sister Bingo studies in another. Going back to Peppa, there's another mystery. Zoe Zebra has 2 younger sisters who are the same age as George. They should be studying with all the other young ones, but that doesn't happen. Does Madame Gazelle not allow 3 siblings from the same family to attend school together? There are many questions about this, but the biggest one never leaves the fans' minds. If today George is learning the exact same things as Peppa, then what was Madame Gazelle teaching Peppa when she was the same age as her brother? Do you see how this doesn't make sense? The roof. Still talking about Peppa's school, have you ever noticed that the roof of the building is always broken? There are several episodes showing Mr. Bull trying to fix the leaks when it rains. There was the day they forced Daddy Pig to run a marathon alone just to raise enough money for the repair. There was another day when the whole town asked Mommy Pig to go skydiving. Not to mention the many episodes where the students held a fundraising bazaar. Some fans believe the reason is that Mr. Bull found a way to make a lot of money. The theory says that Mr. Bull is repairing the roof the wrong way on purpose, just so the leak comes back after a while and Madame Gazelle keeps hiring him. That would be a terrible thing to do, but the theory actually makes sense. Speaking of bad behavior, have you noticed that Mr. Fox is a thief, right? This character definitely does some awful things because he steals from the other characters. But something very strange is that even though everyone knows he's a thief, nobody does anything to fix the problem. Why doesn't the police arrest Freddy Fox's father? Is he able to steal from people without leaving evidence? Or maybe he has the ability to make others forget that he's a villain? This is a question that has never been answered. And finally, a big mystery surrounds Captain Dog, who is Danny Dog's father. This character used to be a sailor, but then he retired. That part is fine, but the problem is that he misses the sea a lot. He always remembers the ocean with great nostalgia. And that leads to the big question: why doesn't he return to the sea? Is it because he's afraid of sea monsters? That could be an explanation, but it's still a mystery. The fun continues with just one click. There are 2 videos on the screen waiting for you. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.